Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now today is Sunday, so you know what that means. It's time to go around the net with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. So on the docket for today, we have a few things. We have some American Express changes, potentially admitting they were wrong, but that's a bit too humbling for them. We have a potentially all-you-can-fly airline pass coming out, and we have some surveys coming out from American Airlines cards, so we're naturally going to overreact to them. So of course, if any of that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, of course, the biggest story of the week was Ally Bank's return to the credit card market. Now, again, Ally had cards for a while, or at least one card for a while, as far back as 2016. They recently purchased Allo, or Fair Square Capital, who had the Allo cards, and now Ally has new credit cards under their portfolio of products. Of course, there is a full video down below for you if you want to check those out, but again, we do have some more options now in the cashback space. So with that, we will start off with some quick hits here, and the biggest one is that the Visa Reload, the Mastercard Reload cards, the reloadable cards that people like to buy at office supply stores, things like that. They always come with an activation fee, but now it looks like that activation fee is increasing. So again, this is for your awareness here. Now again, we know this because we've had some frequent miler folks who grabbed some pictures, compared them side by side. So it looks like the new ones are going up from $6.95 to $7.95. Now overall, this shouldn't affect too many people because really the only time to buy these in the main use case is, to buy them at office supply stores when they go on sale and they completely waive the activation fee at all. However, some people still do go this route for, hitting sign-up bonuses and things like that. So, I think a $1 increase does hurt, honestly. I mean, $6.95 is already a lot just to activate it, but there you go, just for your awareness there. But again, keep your eye out because they do go on sale a few times a quarter at least, and that will be the time to grab them. But now with this, we move to American Express. American Express has two changes. So the first one is with co-branded cards. So you might be familiar, like when you get a new credit card, sometimes there's a spend tracker that shows you how closely you get to your sign-up bonus. Well, in addition to sign-up bonuses, usually these co-branded cards have, award nights, weekend nights, things like that. But there's not been a really good way to track your spend until now. So Amex is kind of righting a wrong and adding a feature that, I'm going to be honest, I think they should have had given the price of these cards. But anyways, here you have it. So again, we're talking about Hilton, Marriott, and Delta cards, spend trackers for those award nights or award, flight certificates. So basically, you can also see how many points you earn by transaction. So this will be underneath the rewards and benefits section. Now, originally you could see this, but you couldn't see it until like the statement closed. So them adding this is just going to ease an easier way to make sure you're getting the right amount of points, because sometimes you do want to make a test purchase or things like that and tell that hey, I'm getting the correct amount. Of course, these spend bonuses can be quite lofty, like the new Marriott cards require $15,000 in spend, so this simply makes it a lot easier. So good for them for finally making this a thing. Now, the other one here is specific to the Platinum card and one of everyone's favorite coupons. So if you're looking to get swole coming into the new year, well, then the Equinox Gym credit is changing a little bit for the better, actually. So if we take a look at this, again, you are going to get, overall, you're always getting $300 towards Equinox, but starting in 2023, this is going to be an annual credit, which means you could technically use all $300 in one go versus how it was originally like a $25 a month credit. And in addition to that, this is going to be have all the membership types are eligible as well, where originally not everyone was. So overall, I do think that is a better change. The cynic in me wonders who decided to change it. I would have to imagine Equinox probably decided to change it. Again, it doesn't really matter to Amex one way or the other how they're offering the credit, but I assume they probably sit down some kind of review and it's like, here, what are the metrics? What kind of customers are we getting? Who's redeeming it? Things like that. Now, I do believe Equinox sells other things as well. So if you just want to stop in and hit the gift shop, maybe it's a spot to restock up on your protein powder, your supplements, or whatever. That could be a potential option as well to explore. I don't go to an Equinox myself, but if you have some experience, drop that down below. This could make the credit just a little bit more usable to help offset that nearly $700 annual fee. So good for Amex, righting some wrongs. Now, who's to say this will actually translate to the other coupons, but we don't even need to go down that path. So moving on, now we're into the travel section here. So we're starting up with Frontier Airlines, which we don't really talk about, if ever, I don't think. But Frontier is actually launching a fly as much as you want pass, basically an unlimited airline ticket, if you will. Now, this isn't exactly a new concept. Folks have done this in the past, but it's still an interesting concept overall. So let's take a look at this to see if you can take advantage or where you might want to go. So again, they're calling it Frontier Go Wild Flight Pass. So all you can fly pass. Here's what we know so far. Your seat will be confirmed the day before, which is a little bit tough. An unlimited number of flights, access to all your destinations, flights available 300 plus days a year, complete flexibility, bookings confirmed ahead of travel, and 12 months of travel as well, so lasts for a year. This starts in 2023 for flights booked then at least. Now, there will be a limited number, but they don't tell us how many, and there's no price yet. So overall, I think this is pretty interesting. Again, the toughest part is going to be the way it reads. It looks like, confirm the day before. It looks like, you're not going to be able to, plan out a bunch of things accordingly, right? They're going to probably look at the itinerary and then slot you in accordingly, which is a little tough and a little unfortunate. I think it really depends on the price of the pass, right? At a certain price point, I think you're saying, okay, well, fine, I'm still going to make my money's worth, but if we price it too high, then I'm going to want I need a little bit more than a prior day's notice, I think, for it to make sense, right? But overall, I do think this could be something fun for, I'll say maybe a younger person who can, or someone who's more of what they call it, digital nomads, who can actually travel during the week. Because it's going to be pretty hard to book a Friday, Saturday, Sunday flight, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, something like that, midday, have flexibility in your transportation, your travel times. And I think this could be a potentially interesting concept, fun concept for folks to take advantage of. Now, of course, I don't know much about Frontier, haven't flown them myself, so if you have any experience, let us know down below, or, what do you think of this idea? Of course, where would you go, or how many places would you go? I gotta imagine someone could actually use this to start their own YouTube travel channel if they want it. If that's your idea, talk to me down below. You can be the official travel correspondent, at least for 2023. That wouldn't actually be a bad idea, again, depending on the price of it. And with that, we're going to close with one more travel piece here, and that is American Airlines. So Citibank has the American Airlines portfolio. They have the American Airlines Executive Card, which admittedly, I'll put it on screen for you so you can be familiar with it before we get into this, because they're sending out surveys, saying, hey, if we make these tweaks, what do you think? This card is really only good for one thing, and that is the Admirals Club. It gets the cardholder Admirals Club, plus if you add authorized users, they get Admirals Club as well. And at last check, you could add like 10 authorized users to it, and that was the easiest way to get that many people Admirals Club. So that's what you have on screen now. Again, it doesn't do a whole lot. $450, 2x back on airline purchases, which really isn't much, but again, that benefit of Admirals Club. Everything else is like meh at best. You could get for a lot cheaper. So if we take a look at survey number 1 here, Citi Advantage Executive Card again. So they're saying now will be an annual fee of $595, $75 for up to 2 authorized users, then $75 each after that. They're running 4x miles. Now they are on their site running right now a 4x miles promotion, so they could even be testing this out. But again, 4x on American Airlines, 4 back on car rentals and hotels, then 1 back on everything else. Use statement credit section the second, and then the second section you have global entry still. You get a Hyatt credit, which is interesting, and an Avis budget credit, and then you have some additional benefits. Again, they have the Admirals Club, complimentary Admirals Club access for primary and authorized users, and up to 2 guests or immediate family members. 650 in value is what they're saying, so you can go through the rest of that. Now, the other one that they have here, the other option I should say, is a $645 annual fee. Again, $75 for up to 2 authorized users, then $75 each after that. Again, you're looking at 4x on American Airlines purchases. This time it's up to $150K. And then we also have 5x on car rentals and hotels, 1 back on everything else. Statement credits, pretty standard. Again, global entry, 120 Hyatt. You get the Avis or budget credit, you get a Lyft credit, and a DoorDash credit. And there you go. So I'll leave both those up for a little bit. The check bag is helpful. Priority boarding is kind of overrated in my opinion. But overall, I don't know that any of those make the card better given how people actually use the card, right? Again, the biggest use case for this card is Admirals Club and handing it out to all your friends and family, or even going in with it on coworkers. I've heard road warriors do that as well. Whenever we one card holder and they kick in for the fee, and then they all kind of divvy up the authorized user cards. To me, this seems like a clear play to get people to stop doing that, because they probably realize, man, we're losing a lot on these authorized user cards in Admirals Club access. I think they need to do some of this and not necessarily raise the annual fee. Honestly, it definitely, the American Airlines multiplier definitely should be 4x standard. And I'm never a fan of credits, as you guys know, though the Hyatt credit isn't terrible. And again, if they're paid out one lump sum, then I think the credits are fine. But again, if they end up being the piecemeal, $10 a month type deal, then I think that's worse. So overall, I kind of see this as a little bit of a trap. I think Americans simply trying to get out of everyone using the loophole for this executive card and not really doing much else with it. But there are better ways to do that, American, in my opinion. Make the card useful, and then you could also, I could see within reason, adding the fee for the authorized user. I don't even know that, was it $75 would be unreasonable for two people to still get Admirals Club. I still think that would work. I mean, 10 is aggressive, so I think you could still make that change and then still make the card better. Maybe you bump it up by $50 max to make it a little bit more balanced for you. But overall, I'm not a fan of these changes, really, considering the primary use case. But again, if you fly American, you have this card, let us know. Or even if you run this card for the Admirals Club play, let us know that and how many people you're getting in with it down below. I'd love to read those stories. But anyways, guys, that has been the news for this week. So, of course, if you liked it, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, of course, consider subscribing to the channel because we're right here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And, of course, on Sundays with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. Again, question you guys is sound off down below on these stories. If you checked out the ally cards, let me know what you think. And, what other stories have you seen going on in the news this week? Love to get your thoughts on that down below. But anyways, guys, that's been it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching, and talk to you on Monday.